Okay, it's 10 o'clock. I'm going to call the Water Wastewater Committee meeting to order on July 27th, 2026. I need an approval of the meeting minutes from June 22nd.
You have that motion?
Okay, David,
I'll second.
seconded by Melly. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
You guys did not, just, can I make a statement? You guys didn't approve the meeting minutes that I wasn't here that time, so if we can get that and approve that at the next meeting.
Oh, sure. Which meeting?
You took the minutes on it?
Oh, that was quite a while back. Was it just last month?
No, this was for June. It'd be the month in May,
May?
when my father passed away.
All right, I'll write that down.
Mhm.
Sorry about that. He needs May meeting minutes. Okay.
Okay.
All right, so on our agenda today, just because we've been talking about it, just some updates every single meeting since we started this year on our water tower updates. And both the old and updates on the old one coming down and the new one getting connected or whatever. So what updates do you have?
Limited updates as far as it relates to the new one, but I think the main next steps is actually on the demolition of the old one, which was underway and being prepared as we speak right now. So the target for that is essentially sometime in September. The operational elements of the new tower drive our timeline for the old one. So the old one is still very much in service, and we can't just sort of take it out until everything is copacetic with the new one. The new one has been filled, disinfected, and is more or less operational. However, we're still cleaning up the site. We're still doing remediation of the actual construction itself. So that should happen over the course of the remainder of July, of course, and then August. And with an eye towards eventually getting it in, which is coinciding in September as well.
Perfect.
I have a question about the new tower.
Mm-hmm.
Are we gonna fence around it or anything, or is it just gonna be left open?
I'm not aware of any fencing that we purchased above and beyond, but certainly security is important.
I was just wondering, cause you hear stories about people climbing water towers and things like that.
Well, it is locked. I mean, you can't just like climb up a water tower if you wanted to. I mean, the ladder is locked, so it's not like, you know.
Andy, I'd like to bring this up. Could we have like an open house one day when we get everything come, like people can take a tour of the water plant and stuff? Would that be a possibility?
Yeah, we've talked about that before. We've held them in the past, yeah.
Okay.
So at the last meeting and the meeting before that and the meeting before that.
Yeah,
We've spoken about that.
Okay.
And we would want it to have a water tour of the water plant as well.
Okay.
So once everything's been, kind of set forward, let's just make note of this for the next time, is that, we will be having that. You all will have a golden ribbon, and you all want to cut that, I'm sure.
Giant pair of scissors.
Yeah.
I got giant scissors if you need to borrow. Okay, yeah, well, that's important to David, it's important to everybody
Yeah,
to have a nice PR thing going, so we'll probably look forward to that, David, more
Yeah.
like September-ish,
That'll be great. That'll be great.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Water office updates, well, first, I know Mary wanted to come to introduce herself.
Hello, I'm Mary. I'm Misty's assistant, and I try to be everyone's assistant and help everyone
Hi, Mary.
around here. Yes. So if you guys need anything, let me know.
Yep, and of course, with asking Misty to come to the meetings, you sure are welcome to attend any of the water meetings you'd like. They're all public, so anytime
Right.
you'd like to come.
Well, I'm going to excuse myself. I just want to say hi, and
Okay.
I have to go mind the window.
Okay.
Busy.
Yes.
Take care.
Thank
hon.
you. Thank you for everything.
Thank you, Mary.
And then, so water office updates, so that's on Misty. So Misty and I had kind of chatted before about important updates, just to keep us aware of things. So what do you have for us today, Misty?
Okay, so a couple things. Last week, we were really, really busy with the state audit and finishing with RCAP. And so we're just following up with the audit today, a couple of emails. We need to research some things. And so that put us a little bit behind. We're working on delinquents right now. You know, when we were working with the auditors, it's the day-to-day stuff is just kind of falling behind a little bit.
And they were here for 5 days on site, just in case everybody
Yeah,
knows.
thank you. So it was a lot, kind of overwhelming. So we're working with delinquents today. We have a little under 20 right now that have not paid, that are due for shut off today. So Mary excused herself so she can start calling them before, you know, we go out. The shut off's at 10. We do have 4 people off right now due to non-payment. The funds over at the county right now are very limited. So hopefully they'll be opening back up and, you know, receive some grants and so forth because, you know, they've been here for us. They've paid a lot of bills and had a lot of assistance for our water and sewer bills for our customers. So
But the money won't be there all the time.
it's not there all the time. It's not a given. So there's some local places here in town that tries to help out, you know, in emergency. Once it gets shut off, they owe their whole bill and plus a fee. Unfortunately, they have to pay it all before getting it back
When
on.
their water shut off, do the fees still continue to add up as it's off?
For that next month, yes. And then, you know, they usually get it paid right that, you know, once it gets shut off, usually they're right on it. There's one lady right now, that's working for that's trying to get assistance through the county. And they're, they may not be able to pay it all. So that puts her still in a position of owing, you know, those penalties and so forth. It's hard when you get behind to get caught up, but, so it's our job. I feel like part of our job's helping them get caught up so it doesn't get to that point. So we've not ever shut off anyone without a tag or calling them. We've even went to some homes before to make sure they're okay. So anyway, it's a lot of work. Sometimes I feel like it's turning into collections just as much as the billing. So if any of you or any of the other council members have any means of assistance or any ideas, we're really open to it.
To help-
Giving, if you can find places where they offer assistance,
yeah.
give
But-
it
But
to us.
everyone, just for the community's sake, in case people are listening.
Yeah.
You've done this for years and years. You can provide a number that there could be money, so they would just call in to get that number for that county assistance.
Oh, sure, yeah, we always give that out.
But again, if the money's not there at the county
Right.
level, then unfortunately, they cannot continue to give it to the same people all the time.
Over and over again.
Yeah.
So then that right there is just expected. It's
Right.
not,
Yeah.
when they say assistance, it's assisting them to help them, you know, maybe
Get back on
cover
their
a
feet
bill.
real
Yeah,
quick,
to
yeah.
cover a bill, yeah, to put them back on their feet. It's not to be used in every month assistance.
Yeah, even when they have money, there's a max for the year that people can get.
Yeah.
It's just we need more places, more means of the assistance for people.
You know, Mitzi, too, you know this too, that if they have a veteran in their household, they can get help from the VA too, and they'll help pay on certain
Yeah,
bills.
the county has veterans over at Madison County. They offer assistance. I think they need you would know what it's called, Dave, the form, the DD.
Yeah, I think they have the issue, I think it's Form 7 or something, I can't recall. Hey, I'll tell you what it is, I'm like, I
Okay,
don't remember which
yep.
one it was, but they could go and do the paperwork and they get help.
Yeah, yeah. So we have that, that's what's going on right now. We did have, the printing company has changed the back of the bill. I know there's a concern about, the hours on there. That was brought up at the last council meeting. Becky was unbeknownst about that. So I wanted to follow up and make sure that we changed the date, or not the date, the days of the week, the hours. And that's about it. I do have a proof of that form. If you'd like to see that, you're more than welcome to that.
No, you're just talking about when it was brought up that the bill says open Monday through Friday. right? Not 8 or whatever the hours were. So you're just saying it's gonna be changed now to the
Yes.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Yeah, yeah.
And the hours are 8 to 4, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So, that'll get taken care of. It won't be, printed, it's gonna be about 4 months. Because they've already printed, copies of the bills. So, for 4 runs.
Is the voicemail been changed to reflect the hours at the window are open?
No, Courtney's gonna work on that this week.
Like we said, audits comes first, because we had to delay it, so,
So the audit is all done?
the audit is done, but the remarks and like what needs to be said and done, like adjustments and things like that, won't be published to us until probably the first part of August.
So we're gonna have that before we do budget meetings?
Yeah,
then?
yeah, so the only thing, I mean, I know this is probably not the meeting to talk about it, but I mean, we'll have a copy of that, so I just, maybe because here, or maybe I'll talk about it at council too, is that, there'll be adjustments that are made. So remember when we were under financial emergency, LGS came in and did, adjustments and made us take certain monies from one fund to another. There's probably gonna be about 15 of those. So LGS told us to do it one way, the state auditors believed it should have been another way. So you will see adjustments, the auditors actually do that. So it's not money that was misrepresented or not found. These are just taking them from like a street budget and they should have be put in another line item. Okay, so that's the biggest take back from this. There's probably gonna be a lot of policy changes, meaning that, council members are to have certain trainings that they're required to go through. There'll be policies around, like for instance, and again, I guess this is what frustrates me the most, is that when LGS comes in here, they tell us how to operate. And I understand at the time that it made sense, but now they want to move forward and say, for instance, like, you know, people in finance, like David and Becky. On checks, there are 2 required signatures on a check. Okay, so it's me and Andy's that are listed on the account. If something were to happen to me, you still have to have 2 people sign it. So that's what, when we're talking about policy, that's what they're talking about, is like, if you don't have, who's the third person that's gonna be that? So again, that would be President Pro Tem. So it'll be whoever is, like, if something happens to me and I can't get back in the office to physically sign the check, who is the next person that should be on the account? So it's policy and procedures like that kind of stuff. But there will be adjustments from like, it should have been in this line item, but it should have been here. So just to be clear, there's no money missing. It's just a procedural adjustment that the auditors, you know, do. What were some of the other ones that they talked to us about? Like finance, instead of having a, you know, like they want to see a different kind of form that's filled out, you know, that sort of thing. So that's kind of where we're at with that. I mean, but there will be adjustments made that we'll have to make,
Yeah.
and they do it.
The last time, if I remember correctly, we had this
did.
audit. We had all kinds of things.
Yes,
had
we
to just
did.
go back and
Yep,
just
yep.
set little policies or change little things
That's right.
around.
Yep, and they're a little harder, so why, again, I always get really frustrated when it's like, okay, well, we paid for an auditor, remember, we did that last year at Charles and Harris. We paid them to do that, but it's not in depth as what the state auditors do. So it kind of, I am a little bit gonna kick back a little bit on that, is that, okay, well, if we get audited, then why don't we just go through the state from now on, if that's the way it's supposed to be? So,
Is the price comparative?
oh yeah, yeah, I mean, we're talking like $20,000. So that's what frustrates
But I
me,
mean,
is that.
both
Oh, yeah.
entities charge the same
Yep.
amount.
But the state doesn't do this full-time.
Oh.
And that's the problem, is they have third-party people like Charles and Associates that do that. You know, why didn't they fix it there?
Right.
You know, so, you'll also see grant stuff, like for instance, when Marcy was here, when we were still under, LGS's services, they wanted us to receipt it to one fund, so we're gonna have to take that, remember that grant for the 80,000 that was done like when Marcy was here, like, what was that, 4 or 5 years ago? They want us to put it to a different line item, so that one's gonna be one that's gonna be shown. So, moving forward, like the water grant that we're just in the process of doing, that one's gonna be messed up when we get audited 3 years from now. So, it's just that kind of stuff.
But nothing that can't be fixed.
Yeah, that's true. Yep, but again, all money is accounted for, it's not something that the money's not been found, or it's been misplaced, or anything like that. It's just transferring it from one fund to another fund. Okay, sorry, I was on like a,
No, you're all
probably
right.
not the right,
Did you have anything else?
I do.
Okay.
Okay, so, I just have a couple questions. I mean, about, I guess it's about a word that you hear, I hear all of council speak often, is transparency. So, I mean, this happened a couple other times, and, I mean, sometimes I feel like, first of all, if I'm an important part of this team, I'm important enough to be here, then I think I should be important enough to, you know, kind of be on the same team as in, with billing, or, you know, I guess my specific question was, the last meeting that, I listened to, at least it wasn't to read it in the paper or, hear it from a customer, was about outsourcing utility billing. And I had said before, you know, when this was looked at the last 2 times, if you need help doing that, or if you decide to do that, I'll help transition, and whatever saves the village money, whatever gives the best service to our customers, because that's been my goal since day one. And so one of the council people had said that London outsources their billing. So what, I mean, may I ask what that means? Like, what do they outsource? Do you know?
I know that we pay Mid-Ohio to run our water plant. I also know that Mid-Ohio handles the billing for Plain City and London. They have an office with a water window that's there, open 5 days a week. They're moving it up towards Plain City now. They have a number that you can call, that somebody answers the phone every time. I know they have an online billing system. I know they charge by the gallon, not by the unit. I know that there is a website that you can look up your specific water bill if you don't receive it in the mail, that you could pay it online. That's what I've learned about that. I don't know, I just started looking into it after the last meeting, because if we're gonna pay this company to run it, and you know, I'm hearing that our water rates are gonna have to change, we're gonna have to increase bills, we're gonna have to figure out ways to reduce what we charge the customers, because my personal opinion is that we pay plenty for water, we pay a lot. I don't know what's gonna come of it, I just looked into what they offer.
So we also have looked into what they offer, and everything is à la carte. So you're not gonna get an additional service for nothing. So everything is on the table, and unlike the communities which you've just highlighted, we own our water system, they do not. And so as a result, we opt to provide services, and we opt as a village to go ahead and say, we'll do this but not that. Anything we choose to get from an outside party, you're going to pay for.
Correct,
Okay,
and that's.
just so that everyone is understanding
Yeah,
that,
I don't
that
expect
there
them to do
wouldn't,
that
this
for
this
free
would,
at all.
I'm glad we're all on the same page, because this would,
But
none of this would be for
I
free.
listen to our customers, and I listen to the things that they want, and they want a water window open 5 days a week.
If you listen to customers, maybe you need to come to where they actually come also, or where they speak, or where they make their complaints, and that's at the window. Come and spend time there, and you'll hear complaints. I mean, because the complaints that you have, I mean, who are they from? Can I help them? Because I went and picked up trucks for people that couldn't make it in,
Well,
because they couldn't get
I know
out.
one person that has lived here.
One person, that's.
Well, no, I'm just
Okay,
telling
hold
you
on,
about,
ladies.
this is one
One at a
situation.
time, please.
Okay.
One situation, a person has made the complaint to me that when they purchased their house, they still are paying a bill that is in the previous owner's name. She said, I've tried multiple times to try to get there, it's closed, I've called, I don't get a return call. I'm still paying the bill from the previous owner, it's still in their name. And this is just something that somebody had come to me and said, and I'm like, I don't know, you have to you have to go up there.
But as a
on
council
those
member, why
days."
would you not call her and say, hey, this is a neighbor of mine that has an issue. I'm on council. I'm gonna take that responsibility.
All of those,
Hang on, okay,
I
we're
wouldn't
doing it
ignore
again.
her.
Hold on, please. Let someone finish their thoughts, and then let the next person talk.
As somebody who works, I'm about down to part-time now, but I was doing full-time. And I'm not in this village all day, every day, to come up here to pay my bills. I just find it very inconvenient for the public to not have the window open 5 days a week. But council doesn't wanna open 5 days a week, so it's fine. I'm just saying, I brought that up to send that to a third party, just to explore the options. I don't know what they provide. I called them, I talked to them, I found out what they can give. Can we look up our bills online? If people,
We can, if the village is willing to pay more money, I have a quote on that, how much it would cost for that module to be added to Software
I-
Solutions.
I know, like, we can pay our bills online, I get that. But you have to know the exact amount that your bill is. If a customer is facing it's the 15th and they haven't received their bill in the mail that month yet, and they have no idea what their bill is, there's no way to look it up online to know how much they have to pay online without calling up to the water.
Right,
It
but
just
I
creates
do
more
have a
work.
quote for that.
yeah,
if you
so
wanna
there's a
ask.
solution to your problem, is
Yeah.
what Misty is saying, is that you can opt to add that. Again, you're gonna pay for it, so we can do these things. It's not like we don't, and also, the window is open 3 days a week. It's like, it's not that it's not ever open. It's open 3 days a week, and you can always use the telephone, which we always do, and we take things online as well. So, I just, let's not say that we haven't looked into any solutions. This is a funding problem.
And that's all I was doing, was looking into, funding. What's the cost to have them do it versus pay an employee?
So was
I
that,
still haven't got any answers. I have no idea. But, that just was a thought in my head during the last meeting. That's all that was a thought in my head.
Okay.
And Misty,
so was there a motion to, I know, I don't know near what you all know about the motions, but usually it's a team, I think of the motion as a team event. So was there a motion to get outside estimate for the billing?
No, there's been no activity on that.
Okay, well, so you didn't request to have a quote
Nope.
from Mid-Ohio?
me? Are you asking me?
I'm asking the three of
The
you.
three of us, no. It sounds as though Melanie took it upon herself just to get some information, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so it must just be worded wrong, because according to Tom Taylor, he received a request for a quote.
Maybe that
From
was
council.
Was that from you, Melanie?
I had
As a
called them and
council
asked them, I just asked them if that was a service they would be willing to provide, and they were like, absolutely, we would be more than happy. And it was a 5-minute conversation with, I believe her name was Carol, and she's some sort of administrator in their office there, and she said, sat down. She didn't have time, I was just driving by, and I thought, hey, I'm gonna stop. And we had a 5-minute conversation. I gave her my number, she gave me her card. I've reached out to her a couple times to, like, maybe continue that conversation. She's never reached back. I don't know what you got. Nobody's emailed or said anything to me.
It was just an email from Tom Taylor requesting a proposal, said that one of the council members, quote, requested a proposal for utility billing.
So we won't be doing any of
mean-
that until we have a better grasp as to what the actual demand and requirements are. So until we have a conversation here, we should probably not be doing any of that.
Okay.
We speak with one voice. We are going to go solicit outside vendors for specific services that need to be nailed down, not can you do random things for us.
I simply went to ask questions, that's all I did.
Okay?
And I don't think that's outside of the scope of.
It's not.
I would reasonably, you
Yeah,
know, I
I-
would, I would,
Misty
guess
just asked
my-
us
I
to
guess
try
I
to
would,
find
reasonable
other
minds can differ as to
sources.
that.
Misty asked
My
us to
point is, I
find
will
other
help in any way. It's just, I can't help with my expertise if it's not transparent. That's all.
Well, just as the chair of water, Melanie spoke it out in public that she was interested in Mid-Ohio. And then she went on her own to get information. So now she's presented what little information she got. And you have also followed it up with, you're gonna provide us information on, like you said, on the billing, online billing, and how much that would cost us if we wanted to add that as one of the perks to the water.
At the last quote that I received, it wasn't to put it on there, like the module, to add the module, but for each customer, they were wanting to, I think it was just under $6 they wanted to add on the bill for them to be able to do that. I also
Six
got
per
it,
month?
yes.
And this is Mid-Ohio adding this? or-
No, this is Software Solutions, that's our
Software
billing
Solutions,
system.
Okay.
I guess my question would be, is that, and maybe that's what Misty's touching on a little bit, is that why isn't it discussed here if those options are available?
Well,
Yeah, this is the first, I'm hearing that we have this available.
But I mean, you
and
said
I
you
would
have
like to know-
customers, you said you have residents that are coming to you saying, and I'll give an example, that they can't see their bill online. Most of the time, sometimes I've misplaced my bill and I don't know where it's at. So I do have the luxury to come in here and ask Misty what that is, or I'll just pay it over and say, okay, I think this is what it, pay it over what I think it is. Some residents don't have that option to do that, but like if you have those questions and a resident's coming to you as a council member, it would be good to bring it in these committee meetings or take it straight to Misty. I assume, does she have your cell phone number that she can text you during business
I
hours
think
to do that?
everybody does, it's been on,
And just
it's
say,
been on
hey, because
Facebook
now it's
for
like
us.
you're part-time now, right? So you do have some luxuries of
Well,
helping
I'm
some of those
part-time
residents.
At my other job, I run a business too, so
Yeah.
I'm not,
And I
I'm
have
always
3.
busy. I'm
So,
always busy.
But all you
Hold
have to do
on.
is say, Misty, here's 200 Smith Drive, they need an application, here's their phone number. I will be happy to call them and rectify that complaint that was made. I mean, sometimes there's other reasons why people don't get it switched off and they keep paying the bill. And
that's understood. I hear people arguing that we should bring something directly to Misty or bring it to this committee if we want that. But I've also heard things brought to this committee that this committee wanted, that, got nixed at council, but it was discussed thoroughly at committee. So, again, communication is key. I don't think anyone has intentionally snuck around. I don't see that. I'm trying to be impartial here. And it is council's job to look into things and throw out options. And it's also our job to work with our staff and try to come up with alternatives. So now with this conversation has already happened, maybe you can, Melanie, provide Misty, the water office, with a list of things that sound good. And
I would love to bring the water office up to this century. I would love for it to be easier for the community to get their bills, to see their bills. If we provided an opportunity for people to look at their bills online, do you know how many people wouldn't stress about their bill not showing up till the 16th of the month?
One thing I can say for
I'm personally
yeah,
one of those
excuse me.
customers that can't stand it when the bill doesn't come in a timely manner. And I'm not saying it's Misty's fault. I know it goes to the post office, and I know it's not top priority mail for the post office. So sometimes the bill does come after it's due. Things like that stress people like me out. I'm a customer. I don't like that.
I want to say for Mitzi though, Mitzi's good at working with people. I've been in there before. She tries, says there's problems. I remember one day there was a young lady in there and you took time to tell her what she could do and everything for help, so.
That's what I'm here for,
and
Dave, thank
sometimes
you.
what we do sometimes, it's never an easy job. I know you try hard. like
It's
I
not
said.
always easy. Hey, there's one service by the post office that, they provide for free. It's a nice service. You can, go online, put your you know, information in, and you can see the mail that's been scanned through Columbus. You know, it's not a guarantee you're
I
gonna
get
get
that,
it.
and sometimes it's on my thing, and then it never makes it in my mailbox. It's
Yeah.
great. I don't know where it goes.
But at least you'll know what should have.
And sometimes I see my water bill first, and I can see what I owe on that.
Yeah, it's a nice service.
So, before we start budget for next year, I would like to know the cost it would cost us to have things like online billing. If that's a service that can be provided for the village, I would love to know how much that would cost us. Bring us back up into this century. So, if you have that, I would be more than happy to.
Is that
take-
the $6 thing you referred to?
That's separate. They also have to add, there's a cost for software solutions to add that module to our,
So what I'm hearing is
So I
let's go
think-
ahead and get a refreshed
okay,
everything
yep.
package, and we'll bring it back to this committee.
I will
So
be
is
happy to
that,
do so.
Melanie's recommended the motion here. Is there a second for that?
Wait, what was the motion?
I don't know that we need a motion for anything. I don't think we're even remotely there yet.
A
Ms.
recommendation to Misty to bring the quote back here.
Okay, sure.
Is that,
Yeah.
you want that moved as a
Yep.
motion? Okay, I'll second it.
All right, and David,
Yes.
Becky,
Yes.
Melanie,
Yes.
and Misty?
Yes.
Alrighty. Okay. Was there anything else from the water office updates, Misty?
No,
Okay.
thank you.
And were you done with everything on that topic? Okay. So then, next on here, I have the water loss audit. We've been talking about that for several months, since March. We were told that, on March 23rd, that 2 weeks ago, there was a water audit started, several methods to track missing water. Our loss was 50 to 60%. Andy had referred to the fact that we need to at least show progress. There's no way we could find it all, but we need to show some progress on it. And then, the same breath, we kind of talked about, we made a motion for a rate study, being all encompassing, residential, commercial, industrial, bulk, everything.
Right.
So, that was back in March, and, Courtney did, let us know that those studies are back.
Correct.
Okay. So, with that said, on the water loss audit, do you have any updates that you can provide?
No, so you guys have all received an email, right? Has all the council members received the email about the meeting on August the 5th?
Yes.
Yeah, I got that.
Okay, to come and to reply back to Courtney to say that you can be in attendance?
Yes.
Because I feel like it's a work session for all of council, because there are gonna be decisions that will need to be made. So,
Right.
to get into it here and not have the professional here, what I can tell you is that, and again, this is just a high level, I think that council members, it gives you all the right to ask the questions to the people that have created the rate study and the water loss. So they will have a projected spreadsheet up here, and they will explain to you how those numbers come about, what numbers they actually used. But what I can tell you is that for the water loss, it is calculated at 60% loss.
So for the public's benefit, what Courtney is saying is that there will be a work session on August the 5th where our consultants will be in attendance.
Correct.
And they will be giving a complete breakdown as to what their initial findings are.
Right.
Well, I get that.
That'll be
I
good.
get that, that's going to happen, but this is the committee that actually requested it. I mean, I think it should be presented here first at least, and then in 2 weeks when we have that meeting, then, at least the water committee, because it is a water issue, would be a little bit prepared, for the questions we wanna ask and things
Well,
like
there's,
that.
so at the work session, it's just a recommendation. Nobody's gonna make a recommendation out of that. So I feel as the chair of the committee, obviously, you're gonna say there's no, I mean, because there's not gonna be a recommendation at whatever they're presenting. I don't feel, it's a sort of, in my opinion, a waste of time to have only 3 of the members here to have the projection up on the screen if there are other council members that have questions. So it's like budget. We don't really do that budget recommendation for that committee. It's act as a whole. So my apologies if you
But-
don't feel that that's,
Yeah, no, I don't
Okay.
feel that's appropriate, because finance, for instance, they get a big bulk and they have to work out a lot of the budget, and then it comes to a work session for council, and that should be the same way.
but you
the
guys
water
aren't
rate
marking money
study
though. But
is
like, you're not gonna
treated.
be marking money. The only thing they're gonna do is tell you the results of that. So
Right,
there's not a
and
determination that you would have to make.
We're the committee, I feel like we're being handled. We're the committee that requested that rate study. And I find it bizarre that you're unwilling to turn over the findings because you wanna save it for all of council. All of council is gonna get to hear it. If they're here, or if they listen to this meeting, they'll get to hear it. If they, obviously, everyone's coming to the August 5th meeting. I just find it bizarre, like, on whose authority are you withholding that from council?
No one is withholding information. It is really complicated. The spreadsheet alone has 127 columns in it. So it's not like you can whip through it in 20 minutes or less.
And
There
that's
is no
exactly why
summary.
I feel like we should have a chance to look at it before the work session.
You will.
Do you guys want
100%.
do
You will.
guys
No
want
question
this-
about it.
this two spreadsheets? I can certainly send that to you.
Yes.
I can send it to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I just don't like coming to a work session.
You will get all of
not
this.
having
This is
that
all. This is
information.
this is all public information. No one is hiding anything. What we don't have is the expert who prepared it to go through 127 columns and 17 tabs to explain to you what each one of these are, because you will pop it open in your respective Excel spreadsheet, whatever reader you're going to use, and you're going to see that it's rather complicated. So. This is why you're probably going to have to plan for a 2-hour work session.
I think that's good, why we have
It's
an
in-depth.
expert to do that, so they
Yeah.
can go.
Well, it doesn't
We-
waste
we-
their
we-
time.
we don't wanna
What
s-
happens is they
yeah, I don't wanna
live
start
near here.
speculating, right?
Yeah, so they live like 3 to 4 hours away, so I didn't want to waste their time to have to come twice
Exactly.
if there's questions that all of council is going to have to determine. So my apologies on that. That could have been a one-on-one if, if there was a concern on that. I mean, my door is always open and everybody has my cell phone. So if you guys would like to have that, I can definitely email that to you.
Definitely.
Okay.
Perfect. And then on here, we have the budget. We're just back to, the budget will be worked on by all of council, obviously, but we were also, as every year, challenged with kind of our wish list. If there's a certain project that needed to be done within the water or sewer, or even something like what Misty is gonna be working on, if it's a $6, or a certain cost to get this online billing up and running, that's something we would need to present before the budget gets worked on, so everybody knows and can decide if it's, worth putting in the budget. So I guess with that said, I mean, is there anything, in your opinion, Mr. Mayor, that we need to focus on for the budget with the water and sewer?
Yes, 100%. So we need a lot of money as it relates to a maintenance fund.
I mean, are we gonna be requesting,
So as of like today, for example, a great example is that we are investigating a water loss event over at Market and Madison, which will require digging things up. So as the village knows, we dig stuff up on a pretty regular basis, and we burn through a rather large amount of maintenance money. So yes, we need a lot more in that respect.
okay, so prior to,
This is a leak fix problem, this is a water loss problem, this is a general maintenance of the system, so we are responsible for distribution system maintenance. So yes, at the immediate top of my head, number one is preparation of a capital improvement plan, and B, it's allocation of money towards break fix. There is a level of
I'm sorry, say
expectation.
that again.
Capital improvement, number one, and number two, allocation of money for break fix.
Break fix?
Break fix.
Break
Break/fix. BREAK. Break, as in a line break. So when we get called out because water is bubbling up from something, it has to be fixed. And Courtney will keep me honest, but we burn through a rather large amount of it.
Well, with the water loss, I think what, maybe to add to that, is that we don't know where it's at.
Well, this particular one is going to require exploratory digging. And once we get
So
A
we
goo-
don't
a-
even know where it's at.
A good chunk of, a good chunk.
Where is it approximately
We
again?
do not know.
But you named a place, you think it's,
Well, we know that we have a water loss that is occurring at the corner of Market and Madison.
corner of Market and
Mm-hmm.
Madison?
We do not know the origin of it yet because we haven't dug it up. Costs money to dig it up. And then, of course, putting it back.
So what also, because we don't know where so that I have not heard, maybe that's something that you and the village employees explored and found. But
This is just normal process. So when we have a line that needs to be, a broken line that needs to be fixed, like, this is what we have to do, is we have to dig it up and fix it. So we're responsible for that. And so we burn through a lot of money because the system is old. And we've had a lot of events this year related to fiber optic boring, which nick lines and do stuff that causes line leaks. So we have to go fix all of those and then ultimately either build them back, or if it's our responsibility, we eat that cost. Because that we own and maintain the system.
okay, so you may be talking about visible water leaks. According to the water loss audit, those are lines that cannot be determined, and they don't know where it's at. So we have to bring a professional company in here.
That's a separate sort of, I'm
Yes.
talking about having a pot of funds that,
Yes.
that we,
That's the 60% loss you're
Correct.
referring to.
Yes. Now, can I send the spreadsheet, you just want it to this committee? Do you want me, can I send it to all of council, or is it just to this committee?
I send it to
Okay, send
everybody.
to everybody, because they might have questions also.
Well, and that's the reason why we were gonna have a work session.
Well,
Have all of council.
If I'm the type of person, I like to be prepared, maybe, seeing something before
Yeah.
I will have a question, they might answer
Yeah,
it.
it was gonna
they
be
might
sent out,
not.
just so you know, have not got any responses, but only one person. So the spreadsheet will be sent out to everybody, as I have always done with everybody.
Got any
It's-
responses on what?
I haven't gotten any responses if everybody can make that meeting.
Oh, you got mine.
Yes. So not everybody has responded back to me.
Okay.
So that's why I was waiting to make sure that everybody could come to it, because I think it's very important that everybody in attendance should be at these meetings.
Yeah.
I know I'm open that day, so.
Okay, so I can put you down, David.
I'll be there too.
Okay,
Perfect.
set it in the email to respond back. So I just want to make sure everybody was there.
Sorry, I'm just updating a couple things on my notes.
And please bring some of those questions. So if you're reviewing it like you would be ahead of time, please bring some of those questions that you have and wrote down.
All right. I'm just kind of going over, okay, so now we are at, so as far as the budget goes, it sounds Andy has told us the couple of really important things in his mind, the capital improvement and the allocation for break fix. And those would be things above and beyond, Andy, the normal budget for water. So these are
no, they'll
extra
be
things
incorporated. No, they're not extra. They'll be raised.
just to raise the amounts.
Yep.
Okay, so.
You'll see
will-
that when we work up the budget. Those
Okay.
will be changed based on our experience from the last couple of years.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
And what so you probably heard me talk about it in finance, I've talked about it in probably a lot of different committees here, about the importance of a CIP, which is a capital improvement plan. So in your rate study as well, you will also have something in there that we will probably want to pay close attention to, is that, you have almost a 10-year water facility. So some of those pumps and machines they have like an expiration date, okay, has a lifespan. Just like in your car, just like as us as people, as we get older, we have to have, more assistance of medications and things like that. So I try to break it down like that to have you understand is that in this study, you will have money that's put towards those pumps to have those fixed, because they're not cheap. So part of that is a combination of that, but he's gonna explain all of that, because it's very, very in-depth formula that he uses for that.
Perfect. Perfect.
So please bring those questions, so we're not wasting time while they're here.
All right. So does anyone have any other outstanding items today that they wanna discuss?
I think I do.
I would like to look into selling bulk water next year. Part of our budget,
Okay.
maybe we could look into that.
Okay. Well, when we have this meeting, if I'm
Yep.
not incorrect here, we should get a amount that water costs to make. And what the price would need to be set at for that bulk water to be profitable and worth our guys dispensing it their time. And then, I know we've talked several times about the possibility of getting a machine or something that dispenses it, so it could be all the time. So we could sell more and the guys would have to do less as far as that's concerned. So I think 100%, and I know Misty, you and I had talked about that here at a meeting a couple months ago, that, years ago, you were in contact with a gentleman who had specs on the machines and things. Maybe we could look into that again. I'd be
So that is a
happy.
question for the, again, so that, as I mentioned in the last discussion on this, that's a question for the engineer. We won't just be going and buying parts.
Why, I
So
understand
it
that.
needs to be a solution, it needs to be able to be sustainable, and the actual cost of it can be measured. So, we did give you, for the public's benefit, our engineer at the beginning and spec of the water tower project did spec one out, and it was close to 100K. So if you would like to revisit that again as part of the budgeting process, certainly we can do that.
Well, that's not the one I was interested in.
I understand, but calling Buckeye Pipe Supply and just getting a quote on a valve, a dispenser machine that sits by itself, I mean, this isn't a solution. It's not, has no runoff guards, it has no carrot processing facility, it has no actual connection to the system. Like, it has to be solutioned in full.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm glad we're all aligned.
I've understood that the whole time. So,
It is not currently Misty's job to go call Buckeye Pipe. It needs to be done by an engineer.
maybe you could just give me the information on what you had before, and I can look into it.
I think everything I had, I gave it to Andy.
Yeah, and I gave it to our engineer. So I just want to emphasize, if you are asking for another engineering solution, certainly we can get you one. If that's a motion that needs to be made, I will go ahead and have a discussion with the engineer whenever you guys would like.
Well, things like that is the reason that makes like, I feel kind of attacked because I went and asked questions and you're telling me it should be brought here as a whole. I feel like we bring things, I feel like it
I-
dies in your office and then there's no communication.
I respectfully,
So that
I
is
respectfully
why
decline. We are running
we go
3
into
major
that.
public
Hold
improvement
on.
projects right now. Let
Again.
me respond to that. So I
Let
think
her
that's a very good
finish
point.
her thought, please.
But she feels attacked. I mean,
Okay, go ahead, please.
Let her finish her thought,
I'm
and
done.
then Mayor, you can respond to her. Are you done?
Well, I guess what I have a question of is, it's something that Becky had mentioned at the last meeting, is, and I am particularly questioning, is that when we talked about the Ohio risk, I know that you had made a question and said, everything should be brought to the administration and staffing office. And you had said that. You said, I don't feel comfortable reaching out to the insurance person. You believe that it should be brought into the administration office. And I feel like, at this point, are we just getting quotes on everything? So I'm questioning what administration office that means. Because like you had said, everything should be at the administration office, right? And now we're saying, give me the quote that you got 555
Okay.
years ago to you, and then you'll look into it. So
Well-
I'm confused about what we're supposed to do.
Okay. And it feels like it changes a lot. The
It has.
goalpost changes
Yep.
all the time, and it just fits whoever narrative it works best
Right.
for, is how we feel sometimes. And, as it is frustrating, we're all supposed to be on a team, we're supposed to be working together, that some of us are made to feel uncomfortable, just putting it mildly, for asking questions, and belittled a lot. So it's very frustrating. And as far, as far as, you know, who should reach out to who. What I said in regards to the insurance at the finance meeting was, we had one council member who made multiple calls to an insurance agent, and it made me feel uneasy then. It made me feel like we might look unprofessional.
But that's how
if-
Misty feels.
If,
Misty, do you feel
Yeah,
that
I
way?
mean-
on, if all of the council members were doing that individually. And that's why I said maybe Courtney should be the one
right.
making those calls. And I think different circumstances require different things. I understand, I think you personally feel attacked that she asked questions about Mid-Ohio.
Well, I mean, you're right, because here's the thing, like you just said, it should be done as a whole and as a team. And if it's a motion to go get a proposal, I get it, but what you're saying you don't think should happen, happened. But just because it's, to me, I feel like, let's wash it under the thing, I just asked a few questions. You just said, you felt attacked on something similar, but it's like calling the kettle black
Okay, so
here.
here's my thing. I'm allowed to go ask questions of other things
You're
at
allowed to
other
go ask
places,
proposals
and
without your.
I didn't ask for a proposal. I asked
Okay, give this back to
questions.
Tom Taylor, because
I would.
it's
you
almost like
forward
calling
that to
him a
me.
lie,
Forward
liar.
that to me,
Here, Courtney,
because-
give that to
Ladies.
Courtney, please.
Ladies.
I don't even, I haven't spoken to that man, so I don't know why he would email you anything like that.
No, just one second. We're at the top of the hour with 8 minutes left.
If we all
need
worked
to-
as a
We need to kind of
team,
move on
we
here.
can make amazing things happen.
Exactly.
On an outsider looking in, there's very, very little transparency. There's very, very little. You say exactly, but you have, as a council member, you have a complaint of somebody that needed an application, you couldn't come to me? That blows my mind. And that's your job, but yet I get dinged for not doing mine. How can I do it if you don't
Because
help?
when I step in the office, I get an attitude. I'm not
No,
comfortable
I've
coming up
always
here.
thanked you and welcomed you, just like
I know.
everybody
You
else.
can sit right here and say it.
I am saying it because it's the
Actions are worth
truth.
more
Okay,
than words.
ladies, enough. You know, council members,
Even Becky, you
Were-
said it was unbeknownst what she's asking for at times.
I'm not allowed to discuss water things with her outside of this. And if she wants to go ask questions to Mid-Ohio, she is most definitely allowed to, okay? Now, if she brings it to us here at this committee, and she says, do we, as a committee, if she makes a motion that we go get a proposal, then we make that motion publicly, and we discuss it, and then we go get a proposal. But if her as a council member on her own decides she wants to look into something, then she is most definitely allowed, and we have council members all the time looking into issues.
And
You're right.
to be
You're right.
blatantly honest about what Becky said, I don't feel that if I asked administration to go do that, that they would get it done.
So you're contradicting what Becky asked as a whole as a team
No.
to do. She said
I'm
if we
saying-
work as a team
You're-
for all these things.
Sounds good.
That's all. If you got, if everybody
Sounds
did what
good.
was best for the people out there, it would be an A-plus, top-notch ran place.
And you don't think that leadership has an issue with it trickling down to administration and staffing?
If
It
I
starts at the top of
asked-
the food chain.
I said, hey,
so much to
can
do.
we go find out what, they would charge? I would be told, yeah, we can look into that. And that I honestly feel that's as far as that would go.
Well, you read minds and are a fortune teller, I
There's
guess.
been multiple
I-
things that
I'm not in
need
charge.
you're
You're gonna
gonna be
have to
looked into that haven't been handled.
Okay. This topic, we are going to, go ahead and close off this topic, and, if there are no other outstanding items, we are going to adjourn the meeting. The only reason I'm hesitant to allow you to speak, Joyce, is because you came to my other meeting just to create controversy. So I'm hesitant to allow,
I mean, I think you
So we
technically.
stopped- have we
you
stopped the
technically
ruckus
ha-
of
Yeah, I think you,
people? yelling and arguing now? Is that when it stops today?
I have a comment, please.
Excuse me, hold on, what did you just?
It does. I said, have we stopped taking public comments now?
Yeah.
Because we
I
think
think
that
you,
there's
I
gonna
think
be
you,
a
technically speaking, have to.
situation?
Procedurally, it's public comment time.
Well, there is no public comment time in a committee meeting. A committee chair can allow the public to speak if they so choose. Joyce, I will allow you, we only have 4 minutes. I will allow you to speak.
Can you please come to the podium, because we won't be
You
able to
can,
hear
the
you.
microphone's active.
Yeah, but that's the reason why we're sitting up here, is because it's not been active.
Joyce Phillips, 205 New Street. My comment is, since Becky raised that there was a council member making multiple calls to the insurance agent, I was asked by our fiscal officer to call the gentleman from the insurance company, and I made one phone call, and that was the end of it, and I got the.
Because I feel like if I don't give you guys the information,
Exactly.
then I'm not bringing it to the table.
A professional can handle that in
Okay.
a professional way.
That has
Don't tell
nothing-
me, okay, I'm not done.
That has nothing to do with water.
It has everything to do because you brought it up.
It has nothing to do with
Opened
water.
the door, I made my comment, no ruckus.
Well, I brought it up.
Thank you, you brought it up, so thank you.
Okay, that's unrelated, so we're moving on.
Totally.
Is there anything else you have to say about the water?
No, thank you.
Okay, thank you. With that said, are there any more water-related
I'm done.
issues that we would like to talk about? Okay, a meeting is adjourned at 10:57.
Okay. Oh, excuse me, I didn't mean to be in your way there.
Do I need to sign something? You too. See you tonight.
Uh-huh.